Okay, Frank Talk continues with the MEC of Education in KwaZulu-Natal, Kwazi Mshengu, is joining us all the way from KZN, and of course we appreciate his time tonight. Let's go to the lines now. We have our first caller, Madondo in KZN. Good evening to you, Madondo.
Good evening, JJ. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. Good evening also, MEC Mshengu.
Good evening, Baba.
Yeah. No, JJ, I've got two questions actually for the MEC.
Okay.
I'm one of the principals in KZN. We are having a challenge in my school where I'm at. There are learners who are traveling almost more than 9 kilometers. And there is a transport that is provided, which is the scholar transport.
Yes.
But now the scholar transport passes the school where I'm at, which is a primary school, to a combined school. So the learners who are in the primary school, they are not transported by this bus. And it makes it so much difficult because the young ones have to travel more than 9 kilometers on foot, and while their elders have to travel on bus. And we've been talking with the previous MEC, with the district. I'm not even too sure how many letters I've written. And now, since it's raining like this, these learners have to pass through the river when they are going home and to school. But it's like it has felt on deaf ears. I hope maybe I'll be assisted since there is the MEC. And the second one is...
Yes, second one?
The second one is that one of the combined school.
Yeah.
There is this transformation of the schooling system. But in the area where I'm at, which is William, there are only 2 combined schools. There's no high school. And in the whole area, and which is consisting of 11 primary schools. And now there are 2 schools that have been, they are continuing from grade 9, now they are in grade 10. But you find it very difficult for those schools to grow because of what is happening in these 2 combined schools. So I want MEC to give us clarity as to how fast or quick they will be able to transform.
Which area? Can you quickly give us a sense of which area it is?
It's Women under Uthugela district.
Uthugela.
Yes, under Uthugela district, under Escort 3MC.
Yeah, Madondo, don't go. Just stay on the line so we can take your details, because this first part here, MEC, what can be done? I'm sure this.
Because the issue of scholar transport in KZN remains one of the thorny issues.
Yeah.
As I said, the large part of KZN is rural, and there's still a number of students traveling long distances. And
by foot?
By foot, yes. The challenge, JJ, is that, our calculations are that for us to transport all needy learners, we need about $1 billion to transport that. And currently, we are receiving only 200 million from national as a grant. And then the provincial treasury this financial year gave us 130 million in addition. But still, that is...
So you have a shortfall of 700,000.
We have a shortfall of that. And that is basically the reason why some will not be able to benefit from this program. It's really, JJ, an issue of what we desire and what is possible given the circumstances. Our desire is that everybody must be able, all deserving learners.
But this particular case, don't you think it's quite curious if the schools are almost like in the same geographical area, where you take the combined schools and then you skip the primary school?
I think
so. Your siblings, one is in combined, one in primary, the other one has to walk 9 kilometers, the other one is passed by bus. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, JJ. I think it's one case that we'll need to look into if really that is the case. One other challenge with this thing of scholar transport also is informed by what is called the school of choice. A learner will decide that, or parents will decide that I don't want this school, I want my child to go to the school.
Yeah.
So the child will pass a school that is nearby to a far away school.
Yeah.
And then as a department, we're expected, therefore,
pay for that
pay
transport.
for that transport, which will pass the school to that other school. So those are the things that anomalies that we want to correct within the policy system.
Yeah, all right. I'll come to Madondo. I don't know whether Madondo is still with us, but I would like you, if you have dropped the call, to call back and give us your details so that we can link you to the MEC. Okay, we've got these details. All right. Let me see if you can just try and attend to that. It sounds like a peculiar case. But it triggers another thing that often is a big issue, right? Choices of schools. We saw here in Gauteng people queuing on a Sunday, saying, I don't want that school, I want that school. And the department saying, no, but you must select the school, etc. How are you dealing with it in KZN in terms of application for particularly grade 1 and grade 8?
Yeah. Well, JJ, we want all our schools to be schools of choice. That's what we desire. Because if there are schools that are not schools of choice, they put a burden on other schools.
Yeah, but the reality is they are not.
They are not. That's why we are working hard to ensure that each and every school becomes a school of choice. There are schools in Wamashu that are no longer in operation because of the failure rate that resulted in parents saying, no, we're no longer sending our kids to that school.
Because they're not passing.
They're not passing. So those are the things that we are revisiting now as a department to say, Wamashu remains a highly populated area. So you can't have a school that is not in operation in that area.
Yeah.
So we need basically to revamp those schools, put teachers who are able to...
Who know what they are doing.
Who know what they are doing. A teacher must be really resemble what we expect to be a teacher. We need to resource those schools so that they also move with time and be able to attract learners back to such schools. So we are indeed also affected by what is called the schools of choice. Learners and parents deciding that they will leave nearby schools and then decide to go to other schools, which in the main is a result of the academic performance of those schools.
Yeah, but it raises the issue about how you are handling the registration process. Has KZN Department of Education introduced electronic registration yet at this point or not?
Not at this point, JJ. We are hoping that at least at the beginning of 2021, we should be able to introduce the online registration. We are packaging the system right now.
But what is the hold up? 2021 is far, and you'll be on the 5th industrial revolution.
I must admit that we are behind. We have recently even launched our e-learning programs. We are trying to package the whole ICT system and connectivity in the province, because there are still areas that are not connected, which you will struggle if you want to use all the ICT gadgets. But I can assure you that by 2021 we'll be rolling out that program.
All right, I'll pick that up a little bit after we take another call. Magdalene in the Bloemfontein. Good evening to you.
Good evening, JJ. I'm going to select Magdalene.
Magdalene, okay, Magdalene.
It's a apartheid name, that one. Just call me Magdalene.
Okay, Magdalene, go ahead.
Okay. I realize that from your discussion with the MEC, I realize that migration or immigration is a problem, which appears to open a gap and a wastage for certain schools not to be used anymore. Whereas the priority with South African policies nowadays is that rural development should be a priority for containing the people who are staying there, and also for black empowerment and also for economic development. So I just wonder whether did they miss something at the bed, or are they looking at it, or are they still doing their survey on it? Because we are just looking at one thing, trying to develop South Africa economically and black people as much as we can for agricultural sector. We need it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, Magdalene. I think she's linking to the conversation we had earlier about migration, that if your schools are not of quality in one place, people are going to move somewhere else.
Definitely.
Right? And at the moment, there are certain schools that people just don't want. Like you've just mentioned the example of Kwamashu. Right? What is the plan to standardize, right, to have quality schools across the province?
Well, let me start with the aspect on migration, because migration in the main is informed by people wanting not only better schools but better economic opportunity.
Yeah.
And the president recently launched the district development model, which basically tells all departments that we must work in a coordinated way.
Yeah.
So as the Department of Education, where I want to build a school, it should be in coordination with other departments, because the school must not be in isolation. Department of Human Settlement must be there, Department of Transport must be there, so that we basically build human settlement where people can go to work, go to school, go to play, and all of those things. So we believe that that approach is going to help us to probably arrest a migration, so that, because these economic opportunities will now be taken to where the people reside, particularly in rural areas. So we're hoping to see benefits in that regard. But with regard to other schools like Kwamashu, as I said, JJ, we are revamping those schools, resourcing them, and putting up teachers that we believe are will be able to produce quality results. It's important that we attract learners back to those schools so that they don't become, I don't know whether you can even call them white elephant, because they are still needed in those areas. So it's a matter really of reducing, of revamping them, putting ICT as well as all the other technological gadgets, so that
the ICT thing that you're talking about, have you piloted with some schools in terms of electronic system in classes and giving kids iPads and stuff like that?
Yes, we have. We have targeted rural areas deliberately. We launched the program at Tematungeni High, which is in deep rural area of Itopo. And we have a program that we call the Office 365. And this program, JJ, allows us to connect one school, or connect at one school, but connect in different, about 10 schools in different parts of the province. So it allows us to have a lead teacher in one school, but be able to teach 10 different schools at once. Yes, we have also introduced the issue of digitized books, so that we keep up with time. We are building on a package of ICT. We now have there's an app where our learners can even record the classroom teaching, as it were, and be able to do revisions
by listening back
and replaying and all of those things.
Interesting.
We are looking now at an implementation or adopting a gadget which is a wireless gadget that does not need some connection. So you download everything, videos, digitized textbooks, as well as past examination papers. And that gadget can even be used at your television set at home to replay all those things, so that learners are able to learn within the school premises, but also be able to continue doing so.
I'll just go to a break now, but after the break, I want to talk about the relationship with the teachers. Right? There's always criticism about that because of the alliance with SADU, there seems to be a situation where there is an unhealthy relationship between government and the teacher unions, and that then tends to affect learners. We'll talk about that after the break to see what the situation in KZN is. Well, on a frank talk with the MEC of Education in KZN. Stay tuned.